We bring into our post-game show here Kings assistant coach Brock Sawyer. That's not the way that you want to start a road trip. It seemed a little bit of a regression back to game one in terms of a lack of communication. Players seemed rushed. Decision-making was off. How did you see 60 minutes out there?
Very sloppy. I mean, it's obviously, I don't think it was a 5-1 game, but at the end, the final horn, that's what it is, and it just comes down to simple mistakes. I mean, D turning the puck over too much. I think we're such a deep group up front. We have 12 guys that can play it there. We just need to do a better job of getting the puck and getting it up to them to allow them to go work their magic and have fun down low.
Certainly the types of goals that were conceded tonight. I mean, we talked last weekend about Tristan Mullen's success 6 feet around the net. It was a complete opposite side. A lot of struggle clearing pucks out in front of Jeff Smith earlier on tonight before he was pulled to make way for Stefan Warnig. You look at the Capitals' goals, and the first one, just a puck that came off a skate by the looks of things, sneaks through Smith. The second one, a scramble in the crease. The one that beat Warnig, a scramble in the crease as well. Starts, offensively 6 feet out. Defensively, it's 6 feet out as well.
I think you go back and look at the tape, and it's turnover leads to goal 1. Turnover leads to goal 2. Turnover at the blue line leads to goal 4. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's you can't win by turning the puck over. And our first power play, we had 5 turnovers, so I think we need to do a better job of definitely managing pucks and getting pucks in and getting pucks out. I mean, we stress time and time again on the bench, keep the puck away from their goaltender on our dumps, and he's their best breakout.
Yeah.
We dump it, he'd go out, stop it, look, and make a pass, and they'd be gone 3-on-2 the other way. We can't have that. We got to play, be smart and anticipate more around the ice surface. I mean, we were slow and we were just reacting to plays. We weren't anticipating of where the puck's going to go, and I think that led to their 5th goal. They're rimming the puck around the D. We can jump that. It's a loose puck. Why can't we get there first? Instead, we lose a battle on the wall. They get it, throw it to the net, win a couple more battles, and just ends up guy poking it through. So it's a 5-1 game, but it shouldn't have been. And I think if we go back and look at the tape tomorrow, clean up some of our mistakes, it's a 2-1 hockey game.
How tough is it for players to adjust mid-game? Because you saw, and you mentioned it there, Stomp Phaneuf playing almost the role of a third defenseman. He was so quick to get out. He even played into the corner. I think there in the third period he had a bit of a tangle up with Kyle Betts down low. Like, he's not afraid to leave the crease, something that maybe Jeff Smith and Stefan Warnig don't do in practice, so it doesn't give the Kings a chance to really practice that. How do you adjust to that on the fly?
Just be smarter with pucks. I mean, like I mentioned, we're rimming it right to him, or we're going cross corner, keeping it away from him, and nobody's there for support because everyone's already curled away. It's just our heads weren't right tonight. We weren't thinking the game. We were just reacting and hoping the puck would end up on our stick. I think we lost too many battles, and we didn't want it enough. I mean, obviously it's a team that coming in here, they've won their first 2 games, and now they've won 3, and they're riding pretty high. But I mean, you got to realize when you're going to go in another team's building, it's going to be a street fight in order to get 2 points.
You got to like the start in the second period, though. The Kings outshot the Caps by a score of 7-0. Just weren't able to turn those chances into goal. But that seemed like a bit more of a spark. That kind of first 10 to 12 minutes. The goal at the 7-minute mark aside, obviously, that first 10 to 12 minutes, very, very good from this Power River side.
I thought our first 20 was all right as well. I mean, obviously it didn't show on the scoreboard, but and then you need a bit of pushback. So I thought our first 10 was definitely good, and then again it's just turnover, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0 game and then a 4-0 game. So it's tough. I mean, we gotta come dialed in, mentally, physically ready, prepared for a battle.
The goaltending pool there in the second period, Jeff Smith giving up 4 goals on 14 shots in 34 minutes and 41 seconds worth of work. Not his finest outing, but I don't think you pin that all on him.
No, definitely not. I mean, after the 4th one, I kind of looked down the bench at Kent, and we weren't giving him much support, obviously. I mean, the turnover right at the blue line to lead to the 4th one, and it's a shot, and guys fortunate enough to get a tip on it and get the puck spinning where it's a weird bounce. So I think the biggest thing was just get him out, give him some rest, and get him ready for tomorrow, and get Warnig some work. Obviously we haven't seen him this year, but I thought he came in and made some great saves when we needed him to.
The Powell play goes 0 for 4 tonight. We talked with Kent in our pregame show about what was done. He said you guys worked on it. You're on a road trip. You don't get the luxury of a pregame skate. You don't get the luxury of practice time between games. I know you do a lot of video. What do you show the guys from tonight's Powell play? Because, again, it goes back to what I said off the top of that, organization and communication. It just didn't seem to be there.
That's just mental. Basically what it comes down to. It's I mean, you watch all the tape you want. If your head's not in the game and you're not ready to compete and ready to anticipate the puck and where it's going, then you're really up the creek without a paddle. We have to do a better job of managing the puck and getting more movement and really, I mean, we make a hard pass and we're bobbling it. We really got to bear down, and I mean, when you're on the power play, you need to take your intensity that much higher than when you're out there 5-on-5 to really bear down and have that killer instinct to get that goal.
The game tomorrow night, a 6 o'clock start against the Nanaimo Clippers, 5:40 pregame show on Coast FM and the Kings Broadcast Network. Given the fact that there are obviously some tweaks, there's obviously a bit of a comfort level, going back to an opponent that you're familiar with and the players are familiar with, does that help a little bit in a third match in 4 games against the Clippers?
Yeah, it's early. I mean, we know what to expect. Obviously, they're going to be it's always tough to win in that building in the Frank Crane Arena, and obviously, they're having their home opener tonight, so they'll be excited to play a second one, especially against us after we hold the upper hand there with winning the last matchup. So they'll want some redemption there for sure. And I think tomorrow it's just going to be a matter of managing pucks and winning battles. I thought tonight we were a little too lackadaisical. We weren't going in and keeping our feet moving to finish hits. We were going in and kind of stop moving our feet and coast in to bump somebody. And I don't know what it is with our guys, but they get hit hard all over the ice, and we don't really do that to teams. We back off and slow down, and not to say you have to take a run at somebody, but it's just to show that you care. And I mean, guys, as a defenseman, when you're going back to get a puck and a forward finishes a hard hit on you, he's going to remember that. I mean, I remember doing it myself. It was the worst, but you remember everybody who hits you, and then by the end of the game, like, if you can get a good lick on somebody, you're waiting. But I think we need to do a better job of just upping our compete level, and our care was pretty lackadaisical tonight. We were turning too many pucks over and not generating enough, obviously, on the power play and 5-on-5.